This question about a high school where students studying Spanish and physics is a typical GMAT question about people having different characteristics or people doing different things, but people can also do both things, so there can be an overlap. And the way you should solve this is simply by drawing two bubbles, and you should always use this method. In the left bubble you write everyone who study Spanish. On the right hand side you write everyone who studies physics. You're being given that there's 150 students in total, and that all of these students either study only Spanish, only physics, or both Spanish and physics. And you know that 50 of the students do not study Spanish, so you can write 50 there. Your first piece of information tells you that 30 do not study physics. So 30 can be written here. 30. Since the total must be 150, you know that this must be 150 minus 50 minus 30, which gives you 70. So the first piece of information is sufficient to answer your question. Second piece of information, we don't know this because this is from the first piece of information, and we also don't know this. Second piece of information tells you a total of 120 of the students study physics. So there should be 120 in total here. Since there's 50 there, there's 70 to be written there, because 50 plus 70 is 120. So also the second piece of information alone is sufficient to answer your question. So the answer to this question is going to be D. Both pieces of information separately are sufficient. Now, what's very important here is that sometimes you can have that some people are not in those bubbles. So in this case, all of these 150 students took either Spanish, physics, or both, but sometimes it may be the case that a few of them are outside of the bubbles. And that's very important to know, because if you then assume that everyone is in here, it would lead you to the incorrect answer. So keep that in mind.